Welcome back again to some Wargame Red Dragon action. It's going to be a 2 versus... Oh no, actually it's going to be a 3 versus 3 game on the Bloody Ridge map. And yeah, as you can see, it's mostly a desert map, so taking a bit of a departure from naval maps to go to that. So you got a little bit of water at the top, but yeah, apart from that... Huh, okay. Anyway, apart from that, the water will not be playing too much of a role here, to say the least. Very unforgiving, harsh terrain, as you can see. Pretty nice detail, actually. Just gotta love this little zoom engine we got happening here, but yeah, there we go. So, got myself Lightman, B1 Commander, and Ariel at the bottom here. So, B1 Commander here, Ariel around there as well, and myself, Lightman, going to be playing on the left here at Juliet. And as for opponents, got Crumpels, Burton and Mortimer. So Crumpels and Mortimer there, and Burton over towards the right on Bravo. So yeah, actually I did skip over another game that I had played a bit earlier on. It was a little bit, well, I'm not sure if you could say it was too straightforward, but yeah, basically we won mostly thanks to the naval efforts of one of our allies. Although we did actually, well, we did push through to one of the mid-range points, so yeah, what the hell. I mean, I decided to skip over the game anyway, since this one should be a bit more of an actual learning experience, which might actually spoil it a bit for you, but oh well, what the hell, see what happens. Got battle plans being drawn up all over the place. Looks like I'll be colliding into Crumpels. He's going to be taking Echo. Looks like I'll be going for yeah, Hotel, some stuff here. Morty to go for Foxtrot. And looks like I'll be trying to go for Foxtrot as well. Commander and Ariel, not really mentioning anything about going to Foxtrot though. I really wish that the game would have, you know, that it records freaking game chat as well. Kind of explains a little bit more as to, you know, what everyone's actually thinking about doing and all that. But oh well, Burton will be taking Delta, and Morty apparently going for Foxtrot. Probably going to be more than just myself and Mortimer on Foxtrot though. We'll see what happens, but got the explanation out of the way. Let's just fast forward a bit. So yeah, so we got early helicopter infantry coming in. We'll just slow things down a bit. And yeah, unsurprisingly, Mortimer is going to get in crap loads of infantry compared to what I'm getting. Basically just a couple of helicopters in. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention as well that this is the first time that I've been playing the Blue Dragons coalitions. That consists of Japan and South Korea. In the previous game I played China and North Korea, so that's the one that I skipped, and that you'll not ever see, I suppose. But oh, there you go. So Crumpels from the enemy team has actually left the game, and he actually asked at the time if anyone wanted to yeah, if anyone actually wanted to restart, and no, nobody actually wanted to restart, not from the enemy team either. So yes, at the very least that means that resource points and all that is redistributed amongst the remaining players, unlike say Men of War, where, well, points aren't redistributed at all, which is kind of ridiculous really, because that means you're playing with less resources as well. But oh well, this looks like the middle has been secured there by my opponents. We've got Burton trying to attempt a bit of a breakthrough with okay, actually managing to deposit some more Schutzens. They're mostly panicked today, while the Delta forces are a bit worried, a bit panicked, but mostly in better straits when it comes to morale. And actually, okay, I see. Okay, yep. Delta forces do. Okay, yep. Close quarter combat. LMGs, what Schutzens do as well. Okay, so in either case, yeah, Burton is slowly but surely taking out B1 Commander's troops there. And yeah, as for Foxtrot, yeah, I definitely did not bring enough to that point at all. And as for my allies, well, they should have helped a bit with Foxtrot actually. I was trying to capture both Foxtrot and Hotel, and also to put infantry in these buildings as well, which thankfully, well, doesn't look like my opponent has actually tried to contest that. I mean, the Cotes, they're pretty snazzy little special forces units with close quarter combat LMGs. That basically means they can just shoot from one building to another within the same sector, basically. But, well, there we go, managed to get him in. I've also got a spare command squad inside vehicle there, and a command squad there. So this is just in preparation to try to capture... What point is this anyway? Echo? Yeah, I think it is. Units kind of obscuring it there. But in any case, yeah, definitely could have done with a bit of supporting the opponents on Foxtrot. At the moment though, well, we've just really got some light infantry and all that here, but they are going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to dislodge, especially since we do have the odd Igla AA infantry, which is yeah, pretty decently ranged and all that, so... And got tanks and all that coming in as well, so just going to keep streaming in. A Thunderbolt coming in from aerial, that's something you don't see too early on in games usually, in the early game basically, but yeah, coming in and, well, managing to blow up one helicopter. It is taking loads of damage though, and it's been shot down, so a bit of a waste to be honest. I'm not really sure why exactly he did that, but well, there you go. In any case, yeah, Burton's still trying to establish a bit of a foothold here, but as long as Ariel keeps this point reinforced and yeah, tries to maybe take out vehicles before they can get too close to deposit troops, then yeah, should be alright. And yeah, actually going to be throwing down a couple of napalm bombs on these FJBs. They're still going to survive, but yeah, they'll be shaken and panicked, but not stirred. Using up all their Stereo 2Ms, didn't really see them shoot anything down there, to say the least. And yeah, it's myself here, just continuing to reinforce, securing Foxtrots with reservists, if I remember correctly. So they're just there mostly just to cover ground. Quatay is still there, and let's just see, they can't see anything there, so they've got no idea what's there. They do see a couple of our vehicles near the city, so they can probably assume there's going to be infantry of ours there. And of course they can see our riflemen and Dragon APCs coming up as well. I don't know what the hell these riflemen are actually doing out in front like that. The only thing they seem to be doing is getting torn to shreds by our vehicles. Oh dear me. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what B1 Commander was doing there. He should... Yeah, B1 Commander should have just left them in these different urban sectors. Maybe actually brought up some AA infantry as well. Actually, that probably would have been good. Sending in aircraft to their doom, not such a great idea. In fact, you'd think they would have learnt from the other time that they sent in the A10, but oh well, what the hell can you do? We're going to be securing the city, but we're still going to be consolidating a bit of a losing position, because as you can see, our opponents are now starting to get the score coming in. And yeah, it's basically because they got just one more zone than we do, and Foxtrot, as far as I understand, is meant to be the one, well, it's the one that's sort of central, yeah, compared to all these other zones that are a little bit closer to one team or the other. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, then also got the SU-27PU orbiting around there. But it's one of the new USSR units, and yeah, it's a pretty snazzy little superiority aircraft. Most expensive one you can get for USSR, and one of the most expensive in the game as well, actually. So you can see 190. God damn. But as you can see, 50% ECM, pretty good turn radius, good missiles, good gun, pretty much good everything, really, to be honest. And yeah, not only that, we've even got more freaking anti-air planes coming in, as well as crap loads of crap loads of Delphins with... Is that napalm? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, okay, actually backing that one, and yeah, these ones just to provide a bit of cover. Yeah, probably could do with a little bit more anti-air, to say the least. I mean, the Hawk is not such a bad idea, but needs to be resupplied. And there we go, B1 Commander finally doing that. Needed to do it a little bit earlier though. Won't be able to do anything against the Delphins. I suppose if there's one good thing that can be said is that these guys mostly were out of the way of the flames there, but only barely though. They don't seem to be losing any of their number or actually even getting panked at all. I mean, there's flames pretty much right next to these buildings that they're in. Where the hell are... Okay, yeah, but they're all situated in the far forward buildings, so yeah, they're actually not getting affected at all. These guys, yeah, not affected. These guys, well, Delta forces are getting panicked, but I think that's mostly because of the fact that they're getting fired upon. Had a quick Corsair coming in, dropping a couple of napalm bombs. Not really hitting the BMP though. Maybe it was just to provide a bit of smoke cover so the Delta forces don't get attacked from long range. I don't know. And as for Ariel sending in his M1 Abrams up, yeah, I don't really agree with that though at all either actually. In fact, we don't have any recon here in particular. The closest we got is this Kiowa, which is not in such a bad spot. It could be a bit more forward, or we could just get some cheaper recon to go a bit more forward as well. Just cheap recon infantry really would be all it takes. And speaking of which, looks like the M1 Abrams got taken down. Not sure from what though. Something was shooting at it on camera, but I was focusing instead on the Kiowa. But in any case, yeah, we finally got another attack underway. And okay, this is dense forest. It doesn't seem to block line of sight or fire at all though. Interesting how that works. But in any case, yeah, trying to go forward. These guys getting a bit shaken and worried and panicked, but still managing to catch them on Schutzens out in the open. But the BMP on the other hand is slowly whittling them down as well. Although, wait a minute. I think these guys can actually target the BMPs. I think I just saw rockets coming from these Delta forces, or maybe not. No. Okay, might have been my imagination. Perhaps so, but another thing we also got happening here is reinforcements coming in for myself. Looks like a bunch of infantry and transports. We also do have very cheap M36 reckless rifle jeeps. Oh no, actually no, they're not. They're... Oh, okay, must be something else I'm thinking of. Yeah, these are the really cheap tanks at the very least, and yeah, they're just act as damage sponges, for lack of a better word. And we also got a couple of Tuke Yonsas coming as well, just some special forces recon infantry, just to have a look around, see if I can actually take out any command vehicles. Just having a look actually where their command stuff is. So unsurprisingly, of course, they've relocated this stuff mostly to be a little bit more towards the interior of the map. The BRDM2Us all the way towards the right, rather than on the actual outer edge here, for example, so that's not too surprising. So yes, don't want it to be on the edge of there, I suppose. But this one, on the other hand, is pretty much undefended. There's a couple of FOBs flanking it, but they can't actually do any damage, these FOBs. They don't have any turrets or cannons on top of them or anything like that. Not really sure if they can detect stuff. Optics is bad, so I suppose they can detect stuff that's almost on top of them. Actually, I'm surprised that Mortimer did not put the BRDM in a bit of cover instead, just a few more meters towards the west there, and yeah, it'd be a bit of forest cover, but oh well, what can you do? Tucson is also coming in for myself on the northern flank as well, and yeah, we're actually starting to fire a bit of artillery from my crappy little mortars, but what the hell, they're doing a bit of damage, I suppose. Panicking these BTRs. Montestelski's still managing to get through though. Susek Days should be able to spot them, and there we go, the M36s will be able to get some pot shots off on the Montestelskis as well, actually, which is just as well because they kind of outnumber my guys. And I believe we also had the Buratano firing as well. I think, yeah, actually, it must have been firing there. And yeah, I continually underestimated this thing all throughout the game, this particular game. Because in Wargame Airlands Battle, the Buratano, apparently when the game was first released, I think it was a bit overpowered, and goddamn that is loud, but yeah, then they basically nerfed it into oblivion, and my god, those freaking autocannons. Yeah, they nerfed it into oblivion, but now it's much more powerful than either of the previous games in my opinion, so it's still got a shitty range, it's still pretty expensive, but its armor is kind of decent given the fact that it's a, yeah, there you go, given the fact that it's essentially an artillery piece, even though it's a short-range artillery piece. The really special thing about it, of course, is the fact that it fires napalm rounds with pretty good HE power as well, actually. So it's kind of like having your own napalm bomber, but one that also does very decent amounts of HE damage as well. As you can see, it doesn't have too many shots in storage, so it kind of can't fire off too many without having to get resupplied. But, well, you can't deny it's pretty freaking effective at clearing out sectors like this. It's just a very powerful little instrument of destruction. But yeah, thankfully its range is pretty low though. Lower than many mortars, in fact. I mean, these ones, for example, have 4,900 meters range. The Buratano has to get pretty close. It still outranges, you know, regular direct fire guns and such, but yeah. Apart from that though, yeah, pretty powerful little thing to say the least, and yeah, they're going to be resupplying it anyway, and yeah, we got my guys in combat against the Motostilskis, the Yebiguns being the reservists, I believe. Yep, really cheap reservists, they don't even have an LMG. Thankfully though, the Motostilskis, their LMG is, it's not close quarters, they can't actually use it either, which actually makes these Yebiguns not too bad in terms of cost effectiveness for these close quarter combat situations, simply because you're not paying for an LMG as well, but yeah. Same time, also trying to send a few Yebiguns forward into the forest, and yeah, slowly but surely taking out vehicles all over the place, sending in the K200, yeah, the MP1K is going to take it out pretty easily. In fact, I'm not really sure why I even sent that in with the infantry as well. Like, should have kept the transport behind the Yebigun to provide fire support. Well, what the hell, I mean, it's slowly getting taken out anyway. I've secured the forest. I might be able to get a bit of a foothold, sending in a Sussex Day recon infantry, just a regular squad, to yeah, just to get a bit of recon, see what's happening there. And yeah, definitely very furious combats happening for Echo. At the same time though, Burton and actually, what, there was another guy, yes, Burton and Mortimer very heavily reinforcing this point, so it's becoming a little bit of a 2 versus 1 for Echo, and yeah, it's not going too well for me, to say the least. Recon infantry got slaughtered, the Yebiguns getting slaughtered utterly, BMP-1D with its bloody frag grenade launcher doing a hell of a job actually, and wow, these guys are pretty deep in the forest. I think I underestimated the amount of cover that this forest offers as well, because these guys were in a pretty decent, well, it's dense forest. These guys were pretty well in it, pretty deep in it actually, and well, still we're getting targeted by BMPs and other weapons well outside of the forest, so bit of a learning experience as to how cover differed a bit in this game compared to Wargame Red Battle, because I'm pretty sure in WALB, or Wargame Red Battle, yeah, if they were that far into the forest around here, and the edge of the forest was around there, I'm pretty sure they would have been safe from enemy fire. I mean, they wouldn't be able to fire out either, but yeah, well, that's WALB for you. Yeah, it's got to love those funny little abbreviations. Another thing to watch out for is, of course, sending your AA a little bit too far forward. This KM-163 is somehow surviving. Looks like everything is just continually missing it. BMB1 getting panicked, probably due to the mortar, and well, there we go. I'm still holding on to the city. My foothold on Echo, though, has been completely broken. Foxtrot is not even being contested, and Golf, we've actually got a bit of a foothold by our opponents. So yeah, they're doing pretty well, as you can see. Trying to shell them a bit, but not really hitting too much. These guys are packed at the very least. Ariel has 2 Abrams, and this is pretty much the worst spot to put them in bloody urban sector like this, especially in an unsecure urban sector as well. Very dangerous spot for them, and yeah, if he actually sends it a little bit forward, then they might actually get, or the 2 Abrams might actually get torn up entirely. Bradley IV, another vehicle you don't really want to send in against infantry in close quarter combat like this. Still, they do get taken out though. These guys were panicked mostly, so I suppose didn't work out too badly for the Bradley IVs actually. Although yeah, now these guys are panicked as well, so it's a bit more balanced, and yeah, those rockets, they can still do a decent amount of damage. You've got a helicopter coming in a DAP, bizarrely enough, to clear things out, but overall this is not particularly cost effective. The Bradleys are 35 points each. Okay, actually it's not too bad, but still, that's not a particularly effective way to clear out urban sectors usually. But well, what the hell? Apparently gets the job done. But yeah, Commandos is coming in, more and more Schutzens as well. Yeah, B1 Commander is going to want to send in a, well, infantry basically, and thankfully that's what he's sending out. As for myself though, unfortunately Motostilskis have managed to get a bit of a foothold. My crappy reservists, funnily enough, not doing too much, and given the flames that we got here, I believe the Biotano has fired again as well actually. So he's trying, I mean, he's got a couple of tanks Trying to do a bit of damage and getting torn to shreds by BMP-1 Devil things, my god. Not familiar with these names. Nanasan, Shiki. I guess it's one of those shitty little tanks. And the Kyumaru Shiki is a little bit more expensive to say the least, and thankfully in slightly better shape. Yeah, pretty decent little tank actually. Heavy as it were. Oh, and here we go. This is what I was thinking of, the ATGM Jeep. We've got heading in straight into an urban sector, ready to get torn to shreds by Motostrelskis. Well done, mate, well done. Oh my god. And these things can get torn to shreds by small arms fire, let alone their rockets. And bam, down he goes. Rather spectacular. I don't know what the hell I was thinking sending him in like that, but thankfully we do have more regular infantry coming in. The So Chung Su's still going to... Well, I mean, look at this. Crap loads of infantry and Spetsnazes as well, which are basically dedicated anti-infantry infantry, thanks to their RPOs, their napalm rocket launchers, basically. So, yeah, where's my artillery? Oh, here we go. It is firing, thankfully. What the hell is it firing at, though? Okay, well, it is doing a bit of damage, I guess. Probably could have done with a little bit more artillery. I mean, look at this. Burton dedicated 140 points to the Buretano alone. But here I've only got like 50 points. Yeah, 50 points combined for the two MSPs. Yeah. I mean, orders, they're very decent and actually get plenty of shells as well, so you can generally fire these for most of the match without even having to resupply them, although as you can see they are starting to get starting to run low on ammunition, but yeah, probably, well, it just could have done with some more support weapons for my infantry, or at the very least more infantry actually. Well, do have a couple of tanks that are still alive. Definitely need more infantry as well just to take these guys on, or at the very least to properly support. But as I say that, we've got more coming in, probably just regular infantry. At the same time though, what's happening on the north? More napalm coming in from our opponents. And in terms of anti-air, we've got next to nothing. We've got the Vulcans and the Avenger. The Avenger, the problem with that of course is the fact... Actually, wait a minute, did manage to shoot down one of the Delphins, I'll be damned. Huh. Yeah, there you go. Just watch it crash dramatically. Sorry, dramatically into the terrain there. Anyway, with Avengers, yeah, they are very short-ranged anti-air pieces, but as you can see, very good stabilizer, the same accuracy as on the move, but yeah, the range, my god, especially for that cost, is pretty damn low. I suppose the reload time is very decent, but yeah, opponents, they've got the drop on us basically, and they're doing a pretty damn good job of it. My position here is not looking too good either. My Sochung's getting panicked, probably... Okay, well they had the Buretano firing again with that bloody napalm. And I think the transports, I think actually let them get a little bit too close to the Motostrelskis. And I think they got pretty much destroyed, or maybe the artillery, the Buretano might have actually destroyed them en route. In any case, yeah, my position here is not looking too good at all, to say the least. And I'm even going to have to resupply these mortars. There's a couple of supply trucks coming in. They're going in the opposite direction though to resupply something else, and a couple of those really crappy cheap tanks. Oh no, actually no, these are the Shiki E's, so they're just, well, they're pretty decent main battle tanks, especially for the cost. 55, you don't normally get that kind of range on them, or that rate of fire, unless it's like one of those West German tanks, I can't remember which one, the Leopard 1 something or other. The top armor is pretty shitty though, as you can see. And yeah, that basically means they're going to be vulnerable to cluster bombs, which thankfully not many people seem to use in this particular game for some reason. But, well, there you go. Now, speaking of artillery, we actually have some more coming in on the northern sector here. From our opponents, Motschutzens, well actually I'm surprised that Burton didn't just send them straight into this sector actually, to be honest. Yes. But yeah, they're basically keeping us on our toes. And all this time, they're still accumulating score points while we're basically just standing by, really. I mean, Ariel is mostly focusing on holding, and Krumpels, oh not Krumpels, B1 Commander. Where is B1 Commander actually? I don't see any of his units anywhere. I just see Ariel's units. What the hell happened to B1 Commander? Okay, we've got a couple of his, got a command vehicle for him. Beyond Commander. Okay, yep, got a couple of Avengers. Let's see, Avenger there. Yeah, it's mostly just Ariel's forces. My Cortez as well. Interesting. Where is Big One Commander? Yeah, I've got no idea, to be honest. And speaking of which, looks like my recon infantry didn't really do too much. I think they got spotted out by the BMD M3 and taken out. BMD 2K is still alive, so not too surprising. Same with this one here. And yeah, my infantry is slowly getting routed and yeah, absolutely destroyed in this city. And yeah, even getting my transports destroyed actually. Oh my god, leaving my infantry stunned and panicked as well, so definitely disrupting my supply lines a bit there. And these Yebby guns, god damn it, I thought that this was actually meant to be far away, or yeah, well, further deep enough, should I say, in the forest, so they wouldn't get detected or shot at, but yeah, it looks like I really overestimate how much cover forests provide, bizarrely enough. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for the next game, but well, what can you do? Also a couple of F1s coming in, so they're like precision bombers basically. Pretty sure what they have are... yep, they've got HE missiles, so yeah, basically homing HE bombs, for lack of a better word, and yeah, they do a decent job homing in on... okay, interesting little texture there. Yeah, homing into these vehicles and taking them out, so there you go, better than nothing, but at the same time, my foothold in this little city area, or town area, has been completely taken over by our opponents, and yeah, now Hotel itself has actually been threatened rather directly and rather ominously as well actually. I have a few infantry units sprinkled here and there, some AA. I think all my tanks have just about been destroyed, it seems, and yeah, this is looking very dire for myself. At the same time, Foxtrot, we do have a massive troop build-up, mostly by Ariel. I don't know what B1 Commander's doing. He, I mean, I do see a couple of his things sprinkled around here and there, mostly anti-air though. I don't really see much else. I wonder if he was actually floating loads of points. Because yeah, this is all Ariel's forces right here. So yeah, we've got a bit of a troop build up here. We can actually see much of it. Let's have a look. Yeah, they can see riflemen, a couple of transports. So yeah, they probably will have a decent idea of the fact that we've got something here. They don't see everything else that's behind that. I'm not sure what riflemen are really doing this far back though. Looks like Ariel just dispersed everything randomly and then just plopped everything down. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky to assault this line. It's still possible though. I think Ariel's got plenty of infantry, could do with actual tanks and vehicles though to support them. I mean, this open range here is going to be absolutely murderous for infantry. I mean, these guys will do pretty well for, you know, just mostly being cannon fodder and advancing forward, but yeah, they probably should be followed up with actual support weapons as well. Speaking of support weapons, looks like we're trying to shell their positions in our own point. What point is this anyway? Golf? Yes, looks like it. But yeah, unfortunately it looks like Burton and... yeah, just Burton really is just getting a bit of a foothold in our point. In fact, yeah, they actually managed to get a bit of a beachhead established here. In fact, they could pretty much just put down a yeah, command vehicle, just plop down a command vehicle here, or some command infantry in one of these urban sectors. I suppose their position here is a little bit tenuous because they don't actually have any anti-air cover, so we could potentially bomb them, but that doesn't seem to be happening for one reason or another, and for some reason we got artillery targeting their cargo stuff and maybe their tanks and vehicles. Well, we probably should be trying to go after the infantry. Want Schutzens teleporting from one building to another, and yeah, generally put, giving us a pretty hard time. In fact, yeah, Ariel's and B1 Commander's forces just getting completely torn to shreds. And yeah, looks like our opponents have got us on the run. BMPT and BMP 685 clearing out the forest pretty effectively, as you can tell, taking a bit of damage here and there. BMPT, of course, being available, I think, since Wargame European Escalation, actually, and still just as effective on the modern Wargame Red Dragon battlefield. Yeah, very nice little set of statistics there. So yeah, 15 frontal armor, grenade launcher, very long-ranged HE gun as well. Okay, well, I can also do kinetic damage as well, but yeah, it basically is damn good at clearing pretty much everything out from forests, really. I mean, even infantry have a bit of a hard time against it, mostly due to the fact that it's got a frag grenade launcher, and the fact that it's got pretty decent armor as well for the cost. I mean, enough infantry, of course, in close quarter combat will be able to take it out pretty easily, especially if they approach it from the side, but whoops, I wasn't quite in that condition. Or in that position to be able to do that, unfortunately, so yeah, now actually retreating my Bonboos, so at the very least these guys might survive. Nope, getting caught out on open ground there. I do have more Bonboos though from before, just camping out in hotel, but yeah, things are not looking good at all, and yeah, the game's about to end as well actually, so still it was an interesting little round there. I'm surprised that my allies didn't really do anything else with trying to take Foxtrot or pretty much anything really. Most of the game basically consisted of my allies doing nothing in this city sector until next to the end of the game, and yeah, defending rather unsuccessfully in golf as well. So yes, and as for myself, I did try to push Echo, and that got pushed back pretty handily thanks to that Buratano and the wow, okay, and the various other vehicles that they sent through as well. So, and infantry of course too. Yeah, I did try. What the hell? Okay, Ariel sending in his artillery M109A2s. A little bit too close to there, to say the least. I mean, look at their range. 21,000 kilometers. Actually, am I reading that right? No, not 21,000. 2,100, so... No, that was 21,000 kilometers, whoops. Damn it, I can't believe I misread that so badly. But indeed, yet. 21,000 kilometers, and he was sending it to the front line. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So B1 Commander, he actually did the most amount of damage out of anyone, with the least amount of losses. So I'm not entirely sure what he was doing though. I didn't see too many of his forces there, but still very sound victory for opponents. So there you have it, quite a learning experience indeed. I shall see you all next time.